NetherRealm loves giving us classic costumes in Mortal Kombat 1, but which characters are getting their retro costumes next? Keep watching to find out the answer. Today's video topic was inspired by Infected Durian. I recommend everybody watching go check out his channel immediately after finishing this video, because honestly, I'm so happy that YouTube recommended him in the sidebar. Has anyone else noticed that lately, how YouTube recommends smaller channels? I think that's awesome. But yeah, recently, Infected Durian made this video where he predicts which DLC skins will be next. And I want to do something similar because I think his theory makes sense, but I think different characters are going to get their costumes first. So the foundation is the same, but my predictions are different. But first, excuse me while I get a little liquid focus. Oh yeah, it's good stuff. Today's video is sponsored by Magic Mind, the world's first productivity shot. Like many of you watching, I developed a very nasty caffeine addiction. It got to the point where I was drinking 2 cans a day and actually started to feel the heart palpitations, which is not good. The reality is, you don't need giant cans of caffeine to stay productive and focused. So let's talk about Magic Mind, because they're changing the game. As you can see, it's a very simple shot. You can drink it by itself or mix it with your favorite tea, maybe try it alongside some coffee. You get the idea. It's very flexible. Me personally, I just drink it by itself. In fact, I've been drinking Magic Mind for the past 7 days, and I've noticed a huge increase in my focus. I'm no longer jittery either because way less caffeine in my life, but I'm still focused and productive. And that's because every ingredient in Magic Mind is third-party tested and sourced from the best suppliers. And because Magic Mind is not stuffed with caffeine, you sleep better at the end of the day too, which once again is fantastic because one of the main drawbacks of these huge caffeine cans is I could not get to sleep. I had insomnia. But with Magic Mind, you don't have that problem. It's great for focus, it's good for energy, and it's way better at reducing stress. With Magic Mind, instead of feeling amped up and jittery, you feel dialed in and focused. So what are you waiting for? Try out Magic Mind today. I have a link below in the pinned comment and in the video description. Magic Mind is so confident in their product that they offer a 100% refund in the first 100 days. And it's also shipped internationally to over 65 different countries. And if you're lucky, you can even find it in local stores like Sprouts, Central Market, and Arajuan. Caffeine addiction can be a very big problem, which is why I recommend Magic Mind instead. Alright, and back to the video. As mentioned earlier, Infected Durian made a very intelligent observation. It turns out most of the DLC skin has been done by sections. So for example, if you look at the top middle section, all of these characters have gotten a classic or retro DLC costume of some kind. Smoke, Scorpion, Reptile, and Sub-Zero all got classic MK3 costumes, but then Li Mei got a 3D era skin along with Sub-Zero and Scorpion, which makes sense, they're the poster characters, right? They're gonna get more skins than everybody else. But then for another example, check out the bottom left corner. Shang Tsung, General Shao, and Sindel all got classic costumes recently. Reiko did not, but like Durian pointed out in his video, the classic skin for Reiko doesn't look very different from his current costume, unless we're talking Mortal Kombat 4, which he might be getting in the near future. So with all this in mind, which characters are getting DLC costumes next? Well, since both Natara and Quan Chi have already gotten their classic costumes, it could mean that Havik and Ashura are next, because if you look at the roster, they are both in the same group, and as mentioned earlier, that is how NetherRealm tends to do things, so it's a good hint. However, with that said, I have my doubts about this group being next for a couple of reasons. For starters, Ashura's Titan costume already is a reference to her classic look. Sure, it's been updated a bit and looks slightly different, but still, it's definitely meant to reference her old design. And in fact, Ashura has 2 throwback designs now that I think about it, because her festival outfit in story mode also resembles her old school look, albeit only a little bit. But even so, my point is, Ashura already has 2 DLC costumes that reference her classic look, so I don't think she's gonna get her retro costume anytime soon. And as for Havik, he also has a look-alike costume. It's his Pharaoh costume, or like his zombie costume, whatever you want to call it, and it definitely does reference his old look a little bit, but definitely not enough to replace his classic look. So maybe, just maybe, Havik will get his retro costume in the future, but not Ashura. In fact, I think it's more likely that both these characters will get their retro costumes randomly, very similar to Natara and Quan Chi. There was no method to their madness, they just got their costumes out of nowhere. And unfortunately, I think Havik and Ashura are in the same boat. They might get retro costumes in the future, but not as a group. So in summary, I don't think this bottom right section is next. So instead let's look at the upper left group of characters. Because not only are these characters lumped together, but I think we would all agree that if anyone deserves a classic looking costume, it is Tanya and Rain. And I say that because to this day, I still get angry comments from players who dislike how different their appearances are in this new game. Rain looks like a wizard or a sorcerer instead of a ninja like in the past games, and as for Tanya, she looks very different. And once again, some fans won't stop complaining about that, so I think a great idea would be to give both of these characters their DLC retro skins very soon. And because NetherRealm does typically release these costumes in clusters depending on the roster sections themselves, that means that Kitana and Melina would be getting costumes around the same time. And for me personally, I really want to see Deception Melina and Deadly Alliance Kitana. I think these costumes are both very unique and iconic in their own ways, but yet even so, we've never seen them brought back in any of the recent NetherRealm games, so I think now is the time. There's no better time than the present. And when it comes to Melina, most fans would agree that her Deception skin is the best outfit she's ever had in the entire series. Me personally, I love all of them, but yeah, her Deception skin is iconic. Gamers will never forget it. And the same goes for Tanya, honestly. I think her Deception costume would be the best outfit to bring back, but I also do love her MK4 costume as well. I'm okay with either one, but that Deception costume just can't be beat. And then when it comes to Rain, that's a tricky one. I know plenty of people would like to see his MK3 costume, but honestly, I think I'd prefer his MK9 skin or his MKX skin because we never got to actually wear that or play as him in the game. He was just an NPC. Or honestly, even his Armageddon skin would look really cool. I think that costume actually inspired his MK9 look. But okay, next up, let's talk about the top right section, because here is where things get tricky. Garrus was first introduced in Mortal Kombat 11, and as a result, if you give Baraka and Kenshi retro DLC skins, then I guess Garrus would just have his Mortal Kombat 11 skin, which still looks pretty good, don't get me wrong, but even so, I would find it pretty funny if Garrus, a brand new character, still had a retro costume. That would be pretty funny. And then when it comes to the bottom middle section, things get complicated too, because classic Johnny Cage is already kinda in the game with the Jean-Claude Van Damme skin, and when it comes to Kung Lao, the cameo fighter already has his classic costume, so I guess he would need a 3D era costume like Deadly Alliance. And then when it comes to Liu Kang and Raiden, that would be pretty easy, because classic Liu Kang is something that everybody wants to see. Just give him typical MK2 or MK3 Liu Kang, and then for Raiden, you could give him the MK1 skin, but I'm a bit more partial to the MK2 skin, or was it MK3? I forget which one, guys, sorry, I get the classic games all mixed up. Like I've said before in past videos, the first games came out before I was even born, so my memory is not the best on these games, okay? They're older than me. But what I'm saying is MK1 Raiden is not my favorite. If you're gonna give him a classic skin, then pick any game after that, or preferably the Deadly Alliance era. Sorry, I had to burp there. My gosh, my voice went up like 2 octaves because I had a burp bubble. Deadly Alliance Raiden is what I was trying to say. Both me and the Force Snake love this costume. In fact, I'm more biased towards his alternate. That would be really sick. And some of you watching might be party poopers and say that's not possible, Underdog. They'll never bring back that costume, but look at Sindel. We got the alternate for Sindel, so how cool is that? I'm just saying anything is possible. We could get the alternate costume for Raiden from Deadly Alliance. But as you all know, I love making these videos interactive, so let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Which retro costume do you want the most for your favorite character in Mortal Kombat 1? Because I've already told you which costumes I want, and like I keep saying in all my videos, I truly do read each and every comment, so grab that keyboard and make your voices heard. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Now's the time where you watch Infected Durian's channel. Go there right now, my video is over, so what are you waiting for? Check out his video next. The channel content is honestly very fun. I love his commentary, I love the energy, it's a good channel. But just in case you're still here, don't forget to leave a like before you leave. It helps the channel out a ton, and then subscribe so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.